Yes?
My apologies, sir. The situation demands your attention.
Can you take care of it? If it's another R&D question, then you could easily give them an answer that they need.
Irrelevant. Regretfully, I must request that you leave the city of Initia immediately.
Then could you at least tell me what's so important that you need me? You're just as smart as me, if not more so. You could easily figure out whatever it is.
Beyond my current warning, there is little my intellect can do to protect your life.
My life?
Despite security protocol and its consequences, several AI have informed me of warships arriving at the edge of our system. Again, I must request you leave immediately. Sir, please respond.
Christ, this isn't how I saw my day going. Let me send this log to the archive and warn the Shah.
Negative. Do not warn the populace. Panic will ensue, and you will not be able to leave. As for the archive, I am already transferring your recording.
You want me to keep this a secret? With all the hell that's coming this way.
The DTU will handle their safety. However, Camilla asked me to ensure yours, and I intend to uphold that request.
So I'm making sure I take care of myself.
Beg your pardon.
Nothing, just thinking back. I assume we got enough supplies at home?
Enough to withstand a couple months of warfare, and all routes have been mapped.
Sounds like we're as ready as we can be. Alright, I'm on my way back now, but keep the house dark. We need it to look abandoned.
It was done the moment you left for Initia. All of our pieces are in place.
It's time to let the game begin.
Your statement was cliché and you should feel bad.
Killjoy. In the wake of the interplanetary war, only a select few ships remained spaceworthy. Understandably so. They had to be careful with where they went. Go to the wrong port, and you'd be relieved of your vessel at gunpoint. The same applied to a ship called the Erudition, which belonged to the Antarctic Research Campus. The ship itself would make runs into orbit to recycle the debris floating about, and the campus would use those materials to aid in its own survival. To this day, or at least on, August 14th at 8 a.m., the people who attended the Ark are reluctant to speak on their actual works. Not surprisingly, there's plenty of conspiracy theories about dangerous tech and even secret governments and, crazy conspiracy theories, all that. After reading a few logs, it's more likely they just didn't want to relive those years, and I honestly can't say I blame them. However, some of the tech they worked on that is known include the basis for shielding in space, leaps in ion engine technology, and of course, the light pulse drive, the magnum opus of the research campus and brainchild of Valerie Castavan. Sadly, it was also the final work of Miss Castavan, as the test firing of it left her in a comatose state. In a desperate attempt, her compatriots put her into a cryopod in the hopes that her body would eventually recover with time. Last I heard, Ares had some promising theories on how to wake her up, but it's difficult to believe that anything they try hasn't already been done in the last 60 years. I will admit, though, a mind like hers would be invaluable in times like these. But, alas, I digress. Returning to the Erudition, who is able to traverse the distance between planets like Mars and Earth in a number of days, as opposed to months or years. With this newfound speed, they recognized a chance to fix at least some of the damage done in the interplanetary war. It took the rest of 2161 for the Ark to convince the surviving worlds to talk to each other, but a meeting was finally agreed upon. It took place in close orbit around Sol, and when the meeting began, the hosts inquired if everyone agreed that the interplanetary war was a tragedy. Predictably, blame started to be thrown around, but the members of the campus cut it off in its tracks. They explained that the Ark, even though it was an Earth institute, did not condone the Sol Defense Fleet's action during the conflict. However, they also said that they can't agree with what the Colonial Unification Front did either. Both sides handled the matter poorly, with both looking to change the status quo entirely. Blame had no room on the table. It was then said that due to residual tension, that the only way the Ark would help those involved was by an official truce, as one had never been declared. After months of debate, the talks had shifted from that of a simple ceasefire to bettering the situation, to form a new overseeing structure and prevent the interplanetary war from happening again. Mind you, they were not so foolish as to think that they could stop all war. That's impossible. All they could do was prevent that sort of conflict from playing out again elsewhere. And to summarize the document's wording a little bit, those who encouraged the conflict were barred from having a place in the interplanetary and soon-to-be interstellar stage ever again. It also restricted corporate entities from having ownership of worlds, and clarified that a corporation does not have the authority to represent the wishes of a people or governing body upon which their operation resides. Should one infringe upon those boundaries, the new structure has not just a right, but an obligation to get the situation back under control. Inversely, if a government tries to unlawfully seize the property of a corporation, then the business has a right to defend itself, with the overseeing structure yet again having the obligation to get the governing body under control again. Once all was said and done, all they had left to do was name the treaty and title the organization they would be making. For the former, it was decided to be called the Solaris Concord, in reference to the meeting being held around our star, Sol. As for the name of the new governing body, it would become known as the Democratic Terran Union.